thank you guys for riding with me for so long before I get started in this review. I want to thank those who've subscribed, and those who haven't, I urge you to subscribe. I try to put out content regularly. I do have a life, and by life I mean 5 kids and wife. So sometimes I'm unable to put stuff out, things happen. For those sticking with me, I appreciate it and everything like that. Still trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's when you're considered a YouTube partner, and that's what I'm trying to get to. So can't do it without you guys. If you're watching my videos and you have not subscribed yet, but you're always faithfully there, just hit the subscribe button. It's super easy and it's free. All right, so let's get into this review. So you're here because you wanted to know about the TCU tune. Before we get into the drivability, let's talk about some of the features or how it's set up. So the TCU tune has a stage 1, stage 2. It's going to be paired up with your ECU tune. So if you have a stage 1 ECU tune, you'll use the stage 1 TCU tune. And if you have a stage 2 ECU tune, you'll use the stage 2 TCU tune. If you have a 91 or 93 tune, you'll use the 91-93 tune. So there's one TCU tune for 91 and 93. If you have the E85 tune, then you'll pair it with the E85 TCU tune. So it's pretty simple. You just pair it with what you have on the ECU. There is a difference between the 91, 93 TCU tune and the E85 tune. It's the shift points. In the 91, 93 tune, because of the way the power is delivered to the vehicle, it's not necessarily beneficial to shift earlier because of where the power band is. On E85, it does benefit you to shift a little bit early, right at 6 grand in certain gears, or a little bit before 6 grand in certain gears to get a faster time. So some people have tried the 91, 93 TCU tune and have not seen those shift points, but they're there only for, again, the E85 tune. Another thing that is a feature is if you are in manual mode and you step on the pedal, if you've never noticed, there's a notch or a button when you step on the pedal all the way down. When you go all the way down, it's the kick down button, and what that does is it drops the car in the lowest possible gear. Not necessarily optimal for racing, but it's the lowest gear it can go into. So with it being the lowest gear it can go into, it may not be optimal for those who are doing like road courses, because you may want to stay in a certain gear when you're taking a turn, but you want to go wide open throttle, and the kickdown may drop you too low of a gear. So they have made it to where it ignores the kickdown button only in manual mode. So you have to downshift to the gear that you want. I think that's a good feature. If you go to the track, it sounds like it would have been if you go to the road track, it sounds like it would have been a real annoyance if the car was kicking down to a lower gear than what you wanted to be in a turn or a certain part if you're trying to keep a certain RPM or rep. So that's one of the other features. In comfort mode, you do get faster shifts, but nothing like dynamic mode. And 91, 93 TCU tune shifts nothing like E85. The shifts on all of them, though, are snappy in dynamic mode. In dynamic mode, the shifts bring a certain life to the vehicle. Sometimes when I'm shifting, even in 91, 93, I can see the traction light pop up in between shifts. That's crazy that the car picks up on braking traction, braking friction, braking loose while you're shifting in an automatic all-wheel drive car. That's how hard this car is shifting. It sounds disgusting. Your car sounds like a true monster. It's so tempting to just wide open throttle just to hear a shift and then let off, because they're so brutal. But then when you're driving normally, is it snappier? A little bit. When you're not wide open throttle and you're just driving, it's a little bit snappy. But when you push the pedal, excuse me for the cliche, to the metal, those shifts, it's like getting your clothes ripped off. do the nasty every shift. That's how brutal this is. And the way it sounds on the inside and out is killer. Yes, you will see faster quarter mile times. I'm trying to think. My quarter mile time was faster by in a whole tenth of a second. Yes, a whole tenth of a second with the TCU tune. And the DA was a little bit colder. It was a little bit lower, but ultimately it was a tenth of a second faster. And I probably could have done better if the road was a little bit warmer, because traction, again, was an issue because the road was so cold. The car comes to life with the TCU tune. It truly does. It comes to life. It feels, again, brand new. Completely satisfied with this. You have to get the TCU tune with your ECU tune. It's like peanut butter and jelly. It's like rice and peas. It's like hot dog in a bun. You know what I mean? It's like the pool and a bear. Like a plug in a socket. It just goes together. It's symphony. It's music. It's beautiful. It's important. You gotta do it. 034 has put in a lot of work into these vehicles. They have done things I didn't think were possible. When I originally started this build, my goal was for this car to run an 11.3 because I didn't think anything faster than that was possible. Oh boy, was I mistaken. I said that I was going to hit an 11.3 and then I was going to start going into hybrid turbos because I pretty much figured this car would be maxed out. And by 11.3, I mean that would be a complete drag setup with wheels, smaller wheels, completely lightweight stripped, race seat. No longer really just a get in it and go car. But boy, was I mistaken. I've surpassed an 11.3. This has been a whole nother level for me. And I love what 034 is doing to these vehicles. They're an amazing company. And they deserve, that shout out, because what they have done with this platform is amazing. And that's not to discredit other companies, because they're doing great work too, and they're working with the platform as well. There are companies out there that are really have embraced the B9 platform. And I appreciate them as well for that, because number one, that brings competition, which brings more work and more love to the platform. So I appreciate them as well. All the companies out there. I haven't had the opportunity to try out any of their products when it comes to tunes, but I have met other influencers with B9s that love what they're doing and appreciate them as well. And that's cool. But y'all take care. And as usual, God bless. Appreciate y'all.
All that told me it's not about balling. Real blessed, but I'm still sinning, man. What would you do for a win? What would you do for your friends? What if this life is a foe? What if it all is pretend? What if you roll to the end? What if you started again?